Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome to Atari A to Z Anthology. In this series we'll be looking at the Atari 2600 output of Activision, Imagic and Absolute Entertainment, as chronicled in the various Activision Anthology releases for various platforms. As much as I like those collections though, emulation has come a long way in terms of accuracy since they were released, and as such we'll be looking at the games using the most up-to-date emulators, and foregoing some of Activision Anthology's more gimmicky features such as the special projection modes it was possible to play the games in. The focus here is very much on the games themselves, because back in the heyday of the Atari 2600, an Activision, Imagic or Absolute Entertainment badge was almost always a guarantee of a quality release. Almost always, anyway. Today we turn our attention to Checkers from 1980, developed by Alan Miller. This was part of Activision's first lineup of games alongside Boxing, Dragster and Fishing Derby. There's not a huge amount to say about the history of this one, but one amusing story is that Alan Miller was working on this one at the same time Carroll Shaw was putting together video checkers for Atari. Miller's game for Activision made use of a 2KB ROM, while Shaw's used a 4KB cartridge and a considerably more sophisticated algorithm, known as alpha-beta pruning, for the computer-controlled opponent. The details of this algorithm are beyond both the scope of this video and my own understanding, frankly, but from what I've managed to glean, it's a means for, among other things, a computer opponent in a video game to efficiently reject swathes of moves that are unlikely to put it in an advantageous position, rather than considering every single possible permutation. Given that we're talking about a period in video game history where there was a noticeable wait time for a computer opponent to take their move in games like this, such an algorithm was a welcome improvement. Alan Miller, impressed with Shaw's work on video checkers, offered her a job at Activision in 1982. Headhunting like this was of course the exact reason that Atari never credited its game designers on its packaging and manuals, though in this particular instance Miller's offer came after Shaw had left Atari in 1980 to work for a company known as Tandem Computers. But I digress. Alan Miller's take on Checkers was released in 1980 around a similar time to Shaw's version for Atari. While technically less sophisticated under the hood, the game was nonetheless quite well received. Writing in Video Magazine's Arcade Alley column in December of 1980, reviewers Bill Conkle and Frank Laney noted that the cartridge will give just about any Checkers player a good tussle, noting that the machine's only real weakness is that it lacks the killer instinct. It sometimes hangs back from delivering the coup de grace during the endgame, giving the human player an occasional chance to weasel out of impending defeat. This perceived weakness of the game can probably be attributed to Miller's more simplistic algorithm for the computer-controlled opponent compared to Shaw's version. To put it in figures, Miller's game features 3 different skill levels, with the strongest taking up to 3 or 4 minutes to calculate a move and look ahead several steps. Shaw's, meanwhile, has 9 skill levels, with her strongest taking up to 15 minutes to use the full power of its alpha-beta pruning algorithm to figure out the best possible move and think ahead even further. I suck at checkers, so I suspect even the easiest difficulty is probably going to destroy me, but regardless, let's go play Checkers. Okay, here we are with Checkers for Atari 2600, or the manual anyway. Everybody knows how to play checkers, right? You're in for a surprise. Checkers is no longer just a one-on-one game. Now the whole family can gang up and play against the Activision computer at 3 levels of challenge. Before you start playing, read these instructions carefully to review the basic rules and learn how to pick up and move your checkers. So, you got 4 games to choose from in this one. Game 1, Novice, Intermediate, Expert, and Game 4 is the 2-player mode. Yeah, so choose the position of red and white pieces by using the right difficulty switch. The white pieces follow the switch position up or down. So yeah, you can basically choose the orientation of the board if you want to. Activision's computer enforces the rules of checkers. You must take a jump if a jump is available. You can't pick up any other piece. When jumps are available with more than 1 piece, you can choose any one, but only one. If you make a jump and can jump again with the same piece, you must put down your piece to complete 1 jump, pick up your piece again, jump again, and put it down again. When it's the computer's move, the game screen goes blank. That means he's thinking, don't adjust your set. In Game 1, he'll use 5 to 15 seconds per move. In Game 2, up to 30 seconds. At Expert, Game 3, 2 to 4 minutes per move. At each level, he's looking further ahead for his next moves. So yeah, here's the general rules of checkers if you need to learn them. So unlike Bridge, which we looked at recently, it does actually tell you how to play the game, which is nice. Anyway, here's the obligatory How to Become an Expert at Checkers by Activision TM. Tips from Alan Miller, designer of Checkers. Alan Miller loves the challenge of playing video games, has become the champion of checkers and dragster. He was a senior design engineer at Atari before joining Activision. I can't be very much help with tips on how to beat the computer at checkers. When I discovered any weakness in this play, I worked to improve it. The darn machine frequently beats me. The computer will take the time allowed him by the difficulty level and examine all moves available for the next several plays. He will add up total pieces remaining for himself and his opponent and decide which move works best. You'll want to do the same, looking ahead as many moves as you can. One weakness the computer still has is that he lacks a killer instinct at the end of a game. Even when he has greater firepower than you do, he seems content to diddle about in the centre of the board, not willing to risk an attack, content with the draw. This is your chance to take over the attack, but carefully. Interestingly, that was the one criticism that was in the reviews of this, and they basically pulled it straight from the manual, so straight from the designer's own lips. If you want to become a really good checkers player, I suggest you go to the library, and read up on the game as I did before designing checkers by Activision. There's a lot of strategy to learn. In many ways, checkers is more difficult to play well than chess. Not sure about that. I've heard checkers described as chess for idiots, but I'm casting no aspersions on checkers enthusiasts, particularly because I'm terrible at checkers and chess. I want to acknowledge A.L. Samuels, whose pioneering work in the field of computer artificial intelligence has been a source of inspiration to me and to an entire generation of computer programmers and game players. From Alan Miller. Alright, so that's all about Checkers by Activision. Let's go play Checkers by Activision. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. So we can cycle between the game variations by pressing the game select switch as normal and then the game reset switch to begin. And we are white by default, so we move our flashing cross around to choose which piece we would like to move. Press the fire button to pick it up, and then move it to where we want it to go. The computer will then take a moment to have a think, and move their piece accordingly. Right, so like I say, I'm terrible at checkers, so please don't judge anything that I'm doing in this game, because I know that I suck. I know that I'm terrible at this game, and, well, the only way to get better is by practicing, isn't it? So I'm going to move this one and pop it there, because it can't be taken by that fella there. Computer's then gone there, so he can take that one if I leave that there. So I want to move that one out of danger to there. Okay, nothing in particular danger there, I don't think. Oh, I've got to jump this one now, though, haven't I? So he's got to go over there. And then we just exchange pieces. That is how this goes. Okay, so what are we going to do next? We're going to move this one here. Alright, nothing to take there, I don't think. So if I move that one there, that is safe for the minute, I think. So I just pop him there. Yep. Oh, and then I've got to jump that one. Oh, and then he's going to take me then as well. But yeah, this is my problem. I don't look far enough ahead to consider what's going on. But yes, of course that was an obvious move. You didn't need to think about that at all, did you? No. Anyway, now what? A very good question. If I move that one there, no, he'll have to jump then, won't he? Yeah, this is what I need to think about. Think about things that are coming soon rather than immediately. Let's move that one there. Okay. Slowly advancing. Okay, okay. Oh, I've got to jump now. got to jump him, and then I will lose that one. Because that's the way it rolls. Oh, hello. No. Definitely not. Although... is this a good idea? I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because... No, that's not a good idea, is it, at all? Forget that. Forget that absolute nonsense. He can go there reasonably safely for now. Okay, protecting himself a bit. Fair enough. Understandable. Now, if I stick that one there, I'm going to have to jump. Although yeah, okay. Coward. You coward, running away. Alright, that does leave him free to advance a bit though, which is nice. I'm sure I missed something important there. He's coming up to protect himself. Oh, and he can jump next turn as well. Damn it! Okay, well, we'll have to sacrifice him for now then. Pop him there. Yep, there he goes. Oh, I'm so bad at this game. I'm so bad at checkers. Oh, I don't know what to do now. I feel I'm in that position where you know you've lost already. Oh, I'm going to do another jump. And pick it up and take him as well. Okay, maybe things aren't going as terribly as I thought they were. Right, you go there. And then you have to jump him, but that's okay. That's okay. Because we are getting a king. Alright, bring it on. You can run, but you can't hide. Oh, I've got to jump. Damn it, I'm going to lose my king as well. That's what I get for being overconfident. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, you cheeky bastard. It's my own fault for being cocky. Well, can't do anything about that, but I will... Oh, hello. You're not taking him? You're just not going to take him. Okay, fair enough. There we go. Right. Now I'm screwed, I think. Possibly. Possibly not. Yeah, now I'm boned. Oh dear. Yeah, nothing I can do from here, is there? And that's game. Well done. And in keeping with most video games of this period, there is absolutely no fanfare when someone wins. It's just over. So you're expected to provide all of the trash talking and all of the celebrations and cheers and sorrow and crying and throwing controllers across the room. You're expected to provide all that yourself, which is fine, because that's what you do with a real checkers board. An Atari 2600 is a little bit more difficult to flip over than... is it more difficult to flip over than a table? I guess you got all the cables and stuff to worry about, so it's probably a bit more spectacular if you flip an Atari 2600 over. But anyway, yes, that is Checkers by Activision for Atari 2600. Fairly self-explanatory, relatively unremarkable to look at, but it plays a perfectly competent game of checkers, particularly if you are as incompetent as I am. And thus, you should be able to have a bit of fun with that. So, let's leave that there for today. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.